There, and welcome back to day number 5, or my chapter 5 of my story. This is going to be more of an exciting chapter, I think, and please stick along until the end, because yeah, it's always information in the end. Yes, so the year 2009 began, which was a year where I kind of came out of some kind of a depressed time. You know, the last few months I've been working in a warehouse during the night. And if you've ever been in the north of Europe during the winter, it's very dark all the time, which means that when you have a shift from 2 a.m. to like 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning, you you go home. And of course, since well, I did not sleep a lot before that, and I slept when I got home, which meant that I slept until 3 or 4 in the afternoon, because I was home at around 7 or 8, which meant that when I woke up, it was getting dark again. So I was kind of like in this circle for like 3 months where everything was dark. And of course, I kind of went into a depression, but it was also where I kind of began to shift and awake to the fact that, because I felt really down and all that stuff. And I remember sitting in my apartment watching an infomercial. The TV was on, but I didn't really pay attention. Obviously, that's how it goes. And why I've never watched TV for the last 6 years. That's another story. But I sat there looking at this infomercial about celebrities and famous people, and I kind of was like in this depressed state. It was all dark inside of me, outside of me. You know, I had no joy in life, and I was just thinking there, and what if I died right now? I mean, who would really care, and who would even find me within, you know, the next 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, you know? And I started to kind of think about, you know, think about this, and I was kind of like depressed and whatever, had this, you know, feeling sorry for myself and all that. But in the midst of all of that, I kind of found out that, you know, I'm unique. You know, I'm a unique person. I'm the only one of me, and that means that I'm special in some way, you know. And comparing myself to other people just kind of neglect myself. So I started kind of I planted a seed there, or a seed began to grow, and it's been growing ever since. That's why, you know, if you know my book and my project and things like that, I focus a lot on uniqueness and our journey in life, and it kind of led to more motivation. So in the year 2009, I began a new job, a new sales job. It was the best job I've had, you know, since my job in the supermarket, you know, 6 or 7 years past that. It was a job where I was lending out money and selling electronics over the phone, and some pretty good people there. I got a really good friend who was actually my boss and the person who hired me, and we became great friends, and he's the guy who inspired me to go out traveling. But the first year was a really good year. You know, I earned a lot of money compared to what I had been in the past. I felt like I was doing something that was fun, making a difference in my own life, saving up, kind of beginning to feel good again, and being able to live life, you know, and yeah, so it was really good. And I was hired the March 1st, this 2009, and 2010, that's not correct. 2008 I was hired. 2009 in February I was in Copenhagen for a seminar with Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor is this really good speaker and a person who is a businessman as well, and went to his seminar with one of my friends, Jimmy, who who also was going through a phase of searching and seeking and wanting more out of life. And he's actually been a great inspiration, because he actually he was in a very bad place with, you know, drugs and with, you know, all kinds of stuff. I hope Jimmy is okay that I tell the story. he watched The Secret, who Bob Proctor was in, and everything in his life shifted from that point on. He never touched drugs again, did not mingle with the same people anymore, began to change his life. And he wanted to go see Bob Proctor, and he asked me, or we talked about going together, and I decided to do that. And it was a one-day seminar, and during that one day, it was just an inspiring time. It was also where I met Steiner, who I'm going to be working with from next year, so that's another interesting thing that happened then. It was a really great day, full of inspiration, information, like-minded people who wanted more out of life. And not much was happening with me other than I felt inspired and motivated and felt like, wow, this is like awesome. I want to be in this kind of an environment. But it was first when I sat down on the Monday after this weekend that everything shifted for me. It was like something just inside of me internally just shifted. Everything changed. And it did because I was ready for it, I guess. But it was also a time where everything within me was just looking for a new direction. And personal development, spiritual development, the environment of growing as a person, developing as a human being was what I wanted to do. That was the shift. And my friend Stefan, my boss at my work, I went over to him, I got to talk to you. He had seen this movie, The Secret, as well, so he knew what I was getting myself into there and what was happening. And we talked for like 1.5 hours during work time. And he told me, go home, write it all down, get it out of your head, and come back in a couple of days. What a friend, what a person. And I did that, and it helped me. And since that year, I began to read every day. I think I read probably a book a week at least. And it was an exciting time. And during that time, I also developed into a phase where I wanted more out of life. I wanted to... Well, I wanted more out of life, but where I was not consistent with that. And it also meant that my motivation for my work kind of dialed down a bit. My motivation for having my own apartment and stuff was not what I wanted anymore. I got certified the same year with Bob Proctor's company, actually, as a certified coach. Not something I really think that's... I'm not a professional coach. I can't say that I am. But it helped me to really take some really big leaps in life in terms of, take financial risks. When I came back from Florida in September of that year, which was the end of 2009, I decided to quit my job for no reason. It was the time. So 2 weeks after, I just said, this is it. That meant that I had, about 40 or 50 days left. And during that time, until January, I was actually with a friend who we were out doing some speaking engagements, doing some speaking engagements, and I was trying myself out as a speaker. And at the same time, I had an investment going, earning a lot of money within three months. I started with an investment of $2,000 to $3,000, and I got up to $20,000 in a very short amount of time. And I lost it all a few days before the new year. And it was detrimental to myself, to everything. I was about to scream my lungs out that night or during New Year's because I'm working hard all the time, right? Trying new things, but losing again and again and again. And but it didn't take me long. A few days after New Year's, I had decided through my friend Stefan, he had left for going traveling in September to go to Australia with only a backpack, or a carry-on backpack. My time in Florida had been kind of a time where I've been, what do I want to do in my life? His inspiration of doing what he did was something that has been planted within me, and I was like, kind of, where am I heading? So January 2nd, I told my parents that I'm going to leave Denmark. I'm going to leave, I'm going to go traveling, I'm going to go to Australia, I'm going to renew my life. Nothing is working here, I don't feel well, I'm depressed, I'm negative, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm leaving. So 40 days after that, during those 40 days, I was giving away furniture, selling things, getting rid of everything I could, getting a backpack, packing it with my, sufficient clothing and whatnot, and booked my ticket for Australia, for Perth, Australia, and landed there. Took off the 15th of February and landed the 17th of February 2010, and my life began. My new life began because I was going to live a different way. And that is going to be the next part of the story, because that's going to be a little longer with a bit more information, but I think this is kind of a good lead up to this next one. And it's going to be a longer one, so get ready for it. But to know when that comes, subscribe to the YouTube channel around on this page, as well as join my business. I'm telling you to join my business because it will change your life. It has changed my life. This month I'm on the leaderboard of the top 100, 30,000 affiliates within this business, and I've only been doing this for 4+ months. Why am I telling you this? Because it's possible. It's not guaranteeing that you can do the same, but it's possible. It's designed to help people get results and succeed in an online business and make for a more free life, personally and financially. I want to help you with that. That's what I'm here for. So join my business and join me tomorrow when the last chapter of the story will unfold. And that's New Year's Day. And I hope you'll have a great New Year. And if I can be of any help, let me know. So with that, be well and safe on your unique journey. Be safe. See ya.